Okay, hello, good afternoon, or wherever you are, or I guess most people will watch us later in the recording. This is the information session of the Quantitative Economics program at the University of Tartu. My name is Jaan Masso. I am the program manager of this program. You can also see my email address, and you can write here later in case of any questions. And I'm also joined by Cedric Kaitira, our first year master student. So I will mostly start myself, and then I also sometimes give floor to Cedric. And below you can also see the homepage of the Quantitative Economics program, where we are trying to put as much as information as possible. But needless to say, we can also write us questions anytime. And on the left, you can see University of Tartu main building. That's quite historic one, but we also later show our more modern working conditions, where I also have economics and business people study. So we always try to start a bit more general information. Not everybody might have heard too much about Estonia. It's a country, small country located in Northern Europe with capital Tallinn. Very small country, 1.3 million. So some people say it's one of the smallest countries of the world that has all elements of a state. Now, there are also island states, but the concerning countries in the mainland is one of the smallest. Official language is Estonian, but it's also benefit of a small country, also as international student, small country, that people can speak foreign languages. Now, at least younger and middle-aged people, you can be very sure that everybody speaks English, which is not so expected in larger countries like Germany or France, for instance. We are also a member of EU and NATO. No, I don't know whether it's relevant, but already a couple of years ago, we had some drop of international applicants due to the war in Ukraine. But we have also assured everyone that it's really very safe here, nothing to be afraid of, and so don't worry. And the currency is euro, and we are very much integrated into Europe. And below, you can also check how Estonia is placed in different national rankings. Actually, I updated information in the morning, and turned out that actually we have improved our positions recently. For instance, about internet freedom or economic freedom, but generally, Estonia is considered a very digital country, that we can say in the next slide. Let's say, for instance, we do very many things online. All signatures given mostly online, and it's, for instance, one of the only countries in the world, perhaps, where we can do voting online in parliamentary elections, for instance. And generally, it's also very much known about startup companies and innovation culture. Now, for instance, nowadays, at the moment, we use Zoom. But Skype was the first software available for video conferencing, and which was actually developed in Estonia. Bolt, that's the main competitor of Uber in many countries, and so on. And like, for instance, about some African countries, some people thought that people might not really know what is Estonia, but they know some of these companies. And also, what's about Estonia? It's still relatively affordable living cost. Okay, we are not so super cheap country anymore, but still. Also, if you are a student, you get the residence permit, and you can also work here. Not always migration, and migration and working, there are some teeth and so on, but otherwise, as a student, you can also get access to the labor market. And generally, also, it's kind of quite peaceful with lots of personal freedom. So, a small country, less people, but also less crowded, and it's always quite peaceful, and no big riots or anything like this. And this place, I would also give floor to Cedric. So, as a foreigner, what you would say about Estonia? What has been your impressions?
Thank you so much. Estonia is really, really organized, and peaceful, as you say. It's probably a country where I'll be just leaving my door open. I'm not advising anyone to do that, but you could probably leave your house open, and you'll be pretty sure that everything will be intact. Um, the university is really nice, and a good thing about Tartu, which is where we are, is that it's probably a bit more laid back than the capital, Tallinn. So you really feel a sort of homely vibe when you're around the area.
No, I agree, and I'm actually born here, so it's very good to have like outsiders' opinion. Otherwise, no, my opinion, I'm born here, but outsiders' opinion is much more valuable in a way. And University of Tartu is situated in Tartu as the second largest city of Estonia. The largest university is not in Tallinn capital, but second largest town. It's about 100,000 people, and we generally say it's kind of this intellectual capital, center of education, center of culture, and so on. And among other things, Tartu will be also now in 2024 the European capital of culture. So it means that lots of events will go on here, and also the connections will improve. Like we also have a small international airport with flights twice a day to Helsinki. So also it should be much easier to travel here now directly via airplane. About the University of Tartu, it's quite old, not the oldest one in Europe, but still already almost 400 years, established by the King of Sweden. So sometimes we also say it's kind of second oldest Swedish university. About 14,000 students. No super big, but also not very small. And more than 10% are already international students. So we were really very international from more than 100 countries. Like I had very many international students, but Cedric is from Uganda. I didn't have many students from Uganda, but now we have. So it's basically a list of countries is kind of increasing and increasing. And at the same time, also we have very many degree programs in English. Let's say you're interested about economics or business, but it's also possibilities to study courses in mathematics or computer science is very popular. Or let's say some of my international students, they took courses in, they were interested about migration. So they took courses in migration taught by our geography people. So generally, we are getting quite international, and not just in a few fields, but very many fields. We tell that it's kind of the leading center in Estonia, but because that's a tiny country, being the leading in Estonia doesn't mean too much. So we also look into national rankings, where Tartu is somewhere from 200 to 250 place, like in Times Higher Education ranking 2023. And now, of course, these rankings, they kind of vary and are different. And very broad is the same also in business economics. So basically, it's not too many differences across fields. And this last bullet point, which I actually found, was about science ranking, because we are research university. So it also matters teaching and studies should be integrated science, and at least the claims that in terms of citation indicator, Estonian science is even in the fifth place in the world. So basically, maybe especially some rankings are very high, and hopefully now we're also climbing in some other rankings.
Maybe if I could add something about diversity, I think it was way more diverse than I anticipated it to be. Actually, if anything, I think there are a bit you're Estonian, so you have to move out of the university a bit more to meet more Estonians, but the classes are really diverse, and you get to meet so many people from everywhere. It's sort of a hub for everyone. And yeah, you definitely will not lack a community if you get into this university.
Exactly. No, that's also what's our aim. That not naturally depends who applies, and best applicants are chosen, but still, that's also our goal, to have a diverse group of students, if possible. And our study building, we have moved in 2020, just before COVID, to our new Delta building, where also currently sitting, what you can see on the picture. And in this building, we actually not only economics and business administration, but we also are together with mathematics and statistics department. because that's also for economics, it's very natural cooperation discipline. But we also sit here together with the computer science people. And actually, very many students also take additional courses in computer science, either machine learning, data science, business data and analytics. And that's also important because there are lots of jobs. And also, let's say, also in masters, when writing a master's thesis, very many people, for instance, combine traditional econometrics with machine learning methods, for instance. So being together with computer scientists also opens good cooperation opportunities. And there also, in addition to classrooms, there's also lots of student study areas for students, like this kind of small boxes that you can see where students can study and sit and talk to friends and hang around and so on. So I don't know, Cedric, do you want to add anything?
Oh, definitely. The building is definitely one of the prettiest that I have seen. I think my best part is yes, because as you mentioned, because you can really get into the zone and read for quite a while without any interruption. And then just a bit about the course, the instructors, the professors are really open and you can really speak their minds whenever you feel like. Initially, I came with a background in statistics, but I developed more and more love for the modeling bit. And that's thanks to, the professor. So I hope, yes, you will come with, all your great ideas, and I hope you can be able to build onto it and just know that we are all here to help you do that.
And the environment, no, I recently, it's very, very new. And for instance, I've been also many university course abroad. And recently I was, for instance, in France, in University of Lille, in northern France, which was big. It was okay, but it was not so new as we have. So basically, so yes, so I have the same impression. And about dormitories, basically three and two room apartments, mostly twin rooms. You can see also some pictures. So different amenities, bicycle parks and so on, and also all are situated very close to dormitories. These pictures that you can see here, a very walking distance from study building, 5, 10, maybe maximum 15 minutes walking, but rather 5, 10. So it's really nearby. And I hope also the price should be competitive because I heard about some other places like Paris or London where it could be like several times more expensive and you don't get so good conditions. And so now recently we also had the discussions of students studying in Belgium and in Kent, and it was again a big issue about the cost of living in dormitories. So I don't know, do you want to add anything, Cedric?
Yes, unfortunately, I should say, do not stay in the dormitory, but I have friends there, and it's really cozy. It's yeah, you sort of forget that it's winter when you're in the dormitory because they are well heated and they are really organized. And yeah, there are a bunch of community activities that you can do, at least I've had. And it's really close to school, so you shouldn't have trouble getting there.
Okay. Let's talk now about the program. Basically, the idea is to, of course, prepare analysts. It could be like economic analysts or let's say data scientists and data analysts. And this could, in principle, work in different places. It could be public sector, but more likely in private sector, like consultancy firms, think tanks. Actually, if you talk about banks and financial sectors, that has been actually turned out to be the biggest employer. But it need not to be only commercial banks because very many of our graduates work also in different fintech companies, which we have quite a few in Estonia. I had a project on fintech sector in different countries, and actually it was a bit surprising that Estonia, being a very small country, has a similar number of fintechs. There's actually some larger countries like Wise. It's one of the most famous one of the biggest ones in Europe that was now recently got listed in London Stock Exchange. But in the financial sector, it could be also, let's generate some data science job about any work of data. Let's say one of my graduates' work is now in some company analyzing the data of draft testing. Basically, results of testing, say, questions of draft, whether the draft works or not, whether to give the license to be sold and distributed. And it could be later also some going for PhD in economics, which could be the natural continuation. And actually also now our program is a relatively new one, but now during the last year or so, we have also now first new PhDs. And finally, it could be also target international organizations, but in practice, that may still require also PhD degree, like OECD World Bank, maybe not directly, but after a PhD. And basically, as kind of analytical top positions could be the target that require both econometric methods and data analysis methods, but also knowing econometric theory. Not just 100% English, but it's also possible to study any languages, either Estonian. I think some people studied French, maybe Italian, and so on.
If I could add something about the course, yes, as you can see, most the biggest employers are banks and fintech, but no matter what you decide to specialize in, everything in the course is integrated organically and naturally. So there's nothing that feels like a side quest. I'm guessing some of you have had that feeling from your bachelor's degree, but everything fits in together. You need the economics that you're going to use with your programming skills that you're going to acquire. You need you're going to use the Estonian as you enter the Estonian workforce, if that's what you hope to do. So everything is, tailored towards that end goal, no matter what it is.
That's now very short summary of application progress or admission details. The big application system is open. Deadline is March 15. And just before we started, I was told to advise that if possible, try not to leave it for the very last moment, because now it should be kind of very simple and you can do it very fast, but still, if possible, try to do it a bit earlier than at the very last day, so that in case there are problems, or we could also advise you. Notification acceptance approximately by the middle of May. We try to do it as fast as possible, but at least by the middle of May. It's generally about 30 study places, out of which roughly 16 or one half with no tuition fee. Basically, you don't have to pay for studies, or at least the best candidates do not have to pay for studies. And we can give later more details. And applications are evaluated based on the motivation letter and average grade of the bachelor studies. So basically, the motivation letter, there are particular requirements. It's also from the written part, essay, and a short video CV. So you can check the requirements, but generally in the motivation letter, you could say anything that you may find relevant about yourself, that you think that the evaluation committee should know and pay attention to. And the admission requirements, of course, you need a bachelor degree, but it's logical that very many are still maybe on the process of finishing a bachelor, and that's fine. Just check in detail, so you could finish bachelor later than the application deadline, naturally. And you didn't have to study previously economics or business, but most important is the next point, that applicants are required to have passed prerequisite courses in mathematics and statistics, in total for 15 ECTS. Now, it's currently written like 9 in mathematics and 6 in 6 in mathematical statistics. Now, we can be here a little bit about the flexible, and in case of questions, just feel free to write to us. But that's a most important condition here. And also, naturally, also English language proficiency. I do not go into details, but please check how it is described as a website. For instance, if you studied previously in English, This might be sufficient, but need not to be. So it depends on the details. So please check carefully these details. And about the stipends and scholarships, the most important is the first one, basically no tuition fee, at least in the 16 places for those studying full time. You can check these details. Now, for instance, if you kind of fail one course or basically you don't pass in one examination, that is not to be a problem. But we can talk about you can check about details later, but otherwise it simply that you have to pass most of the courses. There will be also 3 monthly scholarships to the highest ranked applicants in the sum of €600 during the first year of master studies. And no separate application is needed. We just consider that based on the general ranking. And you could check for more information about scholarships in the website. There are some scholarships offered, for instance, by the University of Tartu Foundation, and some also on top of that, there are small things. Some awards for the best master thesis. Some students can later work as teaching or research assistants, but not more likely in second year studies. And like each year, some students work as research assistants in the course on R software, for instance. And also there will be a practical training at different institutions, which sometimes also may include a separate payment, but may need or need not. And also finally, also possibility for Erasmus scholarships if you study abroad, but scholarships could be also used for taking internship abroad in some other European countries. And you can also, again, check later the details. And very short is program structure is so that basically we have first compulsory modules, let's say like standard economics courses, microeconomics, macroeconomics, mathematical statistics, mathematics, econometrics, and then with specialization possibilities, elective modules. That could be some special topics in economics, let's say international trade, for instance. Then financial actuarial mathematics, for instance, about insurance statistics. And you could also take the Erasmus module, which means that you study abroad for a semester in some other university, and then you can take any economics courses over there. And final studies end with a master thesis, which topic you can also choose yourself, but basically not subject to the availability of supervisors and which thesis topics they are ready and able to supervise. And very shortly, we kind of say it's a full-time study program, but the reality is, of course, that still many students work, especially during year 2. And also, basically, it seems that basically work opportunity, which also shows that work opportunities have been quite good, even during periods when economy has not been doing so well. Usually relatively long courses like 6 or 9 credits, so and with a midterm exam after every 3 credits, so getting the opportunity that, let's say, for exam, you don't always have to study so huge amount of material. On the other hand, to give courses really for space, so you can really have time to cover all necessary topics. As to emphasize is economics program, but there's lots of econometrics, statistics, data science, and because that's important, because that's also not everything is now there is about data. It's kind of say that data is a new resource, new gold. There is lots of jobs over there. That's important part of the studies. Provide different study materials, in particular textbooks. And that's the standard principle that, of course, professors may provide different materials, but standard English language textbooks that are used in other good programs in the world kind of gives this framework and guarantee of the quality of the studies. Of course, because data is very important part of studies. Part of studies is either in computer labs, or in different forms using statistical software and databases. like Stata, R, MATLAB, SQL, Python. Basically, these are the most important ones. And most of our instructors are both local, but we also cooperate with our Central Bank of Estonia. And actually, the program is also established due to the message from the central bank that we need this kind of people and this kind of program. And also regularly we have also each year at least somebody from abroad teaching some small mini courses. Now, for instance, this year we are now going to have a short course in environmental economics by a visiting professor from Cambridge University. And if you have checked any information in the past, let's say that maybe you checked it 1 year ago or 2 years ago, the biggest new development is that we have established a double degree program with the Kent University in Belgium since this year. And what it means in practical terms is that we have two study tracks. Track one, called economics and data analysis, means that basically it's kind of a standard track that basically you study in Tartu for 2 years. Which still means that you could still study abroad. You could still study abroad, but you don't have to. We have some exchange program. But for the double degree program, it's important the track 2, economics theory and data analysis, which means that you will study your first year at the University of Tartu and second year at Kent University. And so you will receive 2 diplomas. One diploma from Tartu University, the other diploma from Kent University. And it's basically, it's lots of very many small details and questions, but very short, that is about it. And very short introduction for Kent University, it's not as old as Tartu University, but still 200 years ago. It was established, that is one of the major universities in Belgium. And that's also very highly ranked, more highly ranked actually than Tartu University. That belongs to the top 100 in the rankings of world university. And here I just copied. They are also its town is very nice, and I've been there myself. And it's just one picture about the old town, which is really indeed very cozy and walkable. But you can check later more. And actually, it's also situated very close to Brussels, so it should be also very well connected to different locations. Teaching stuff, I think also as Cedric said, that we are quite young people and hopefully quite easily reachable, and I hope that communication has been easy. Most of the courses have had high feedback. There are always some rooms of improvement, and we know that we are working on. And most of the instructors have PhDs from most different European universities, also from Denmark, Italy, Netherlands, UK, Spain. No, I actually graduated here, so for me this last one applies. And we also try to hire new people to satisfy this program requirements that we try to do further in the future. And you could check more details at the program website. And here, just to keep time, let's not talk about everybody, but just the names here. Not the names, but just pictures. And as to other aspects, to sum up, we already talked about internship. We also, as I said, in addition to regular courses, we try to have always some kind of short courses taught by some people from abroad. In the past, let's say we had courses about experimental economics, spatial econometrics, multi-level modeling, not different topics, just a few. It's a relatively small group of students, which also means it's got not really kind of mass studies. So it means that it's really possible to talk to instructors, or it should be possible that you get familiar with all your fellow students. Like if there is 200 people, you maybe can't talk to everybody, but it's just a much smaller group, you will get to use to everybody. And really, we have had people from almost all around the world. Naturally, for us, a little bit logical area where we could get the students could be former Soviet Union, but actually, that's really also from all over Europe, also Western Europe, from all over Asia, Latin America, like from Brazil, Costa Rica, El Salvador, a few students actually from United States and also Africa, mostly West Africa, Eastern Africa, from Ethiopia, and so really not exactly from each and every country, but basically it is very diverse geographically. Now, but we also add that because due to our location in the Delta building, together with computer scientists and mathematicians, it should be a little bit easier to have really interdisciplinarity. So that basically, now, we are now in floor 4, computer scientists are just in floor 3. So it would be very, so basically we do one lecture in economics, now we do next lecture in computer science. It should be very, very easy. And the Erasmus exchange opportunities, you can study abroad for a semester or 1 year. And where my students have been in Germany, France, Italy, United States, Norway, but maybe I missed some countries still. And as I said, it should be quite good job opportunities after the graduation, which is actually a separate slide. I already mentioned about it, which I already said about it. Basically, still financial sector is dominated. Now we have also new first graduates of PhD programs about employers. No, I actually started with IT companies because you see, the economics. It may sound a bit strange, but actually some of my students, at least one student is in Microsoft. I know that at least one student is working in Google in Dublin. Then many now local companies, also some airlines as Finnair have been important, some in universities, different startup companies, but generally kind of different analysts or kind of data analysts in particular. And now so far, I think people have been able to find job, and somebody needed a bit more time, but otherwise many students also work already during working. I don't know each and every one, but generally quite high percentage have stayed in Estonia, maybe 80%. It could be different programs. I know it's the same in IT. Maybe in other programs like political scientist, it's science is different, but in this respect, we are quite similar to IT. And we also try to copy a little bit of the information about the alumni to the website, and you could check a little bit of what they have been doing. And this last slide actually a little bit tries to show what we try to have a little bit in the website about the alumni, like Katarina from Ukraine is now working in the financial sector in Estonia. Tanel is also doing similar job. Like Cedric says that we have actually most people from abroad, but actually we also have Estonians in the program. And Elisaveta is currently doing data science work in one of our technology companies. Actually, it was used to be Taxify, but now it's Bolt, and they are competing with Uber in many countries. And they're also developing different algorithms, how to manage these kind of drivers, taxi drivers and Bolt drivers. And I think that's it. Let's not keep it too long. And so that's final. Currently, it's winter here, and it's lots of snow and a bit cold. But everybody has survived here. But sooner or later, spring will come. And as you can see, Tartu is also a very green city. So lots of trees everywhere, especially if you look on above. And so it should be, I think, quite a livable city. So, Cedric, do you want to say any last words?
Well, thank you. Yeah, Tartu is really pretty. The picture that the team is probably not doing it justice because it changes with the seasons, and every single month you have something to look forward to. The first month you'll be here, of course you'll be studying, but I'm guessing you'll be sightseeing as well, and you're definitely going to have a great time doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. And actually, that's pretty much all. And of course, the slides will be later available. Recordings will be available. I refer to various links, but this will be also shared, partly in the slideshow, and there will be also you get also instructions where you get the further information. And that's why, otherwise, that's now mostly in, and now we have some time for questions in case there are any questions. And you can check, you can write to chat in case there are any questions. So we will wait a bit more, but if you can't if you don't have questions now and need more time to think, then always you can later send us anything that you need to know via email. And at any point of course, we think that the application procedure should be simple. And when I have received any questions, like whether I should apply or not apply, or whether you are kind of eligible to apply or not apply. So my most important question to most applicants has been that you may send to me your diploma transcripts. So that I could check your diplomas and tell whether you satisfy our requirements. As I said, the most important for us is past studies in mathematics and statistics. For instance, I also consider that we should study other quantitative subjects, let's say physics, for instance, so that I could check your diploma transcripts and then give you advice, basically how your looks. And let's say in case you miss still a little bit of something about the required credits in previous studies in mathematics, then we have tools that you could still take some courses maybe during the spring term. Is that is possible? Or other possibilities, also you could take some online courses, for instance, because so many are opened in, so many are offered, for instance, in Coursera and Data Camp and different things. So that's another possibility how to improve your track record and to be more to be either simply to eligible to apply or to be more competitive. So basically that could be also done.
But you should definitely make use of the website, the website, because it's really comprehensive and most of the information you're going to need is there.
Very often when I receive questions, quite often I also simply copy links to email. Look, this information you get from this page, like English language requirement. The other information you get from the other page. Let's about some scholarships or maybe about some other requirements. So we try to put it over there, of course, to everything to the website. Okay, we may also end earlier just to Cedric, do you have anything more from your experience to say, or so you understand you are mostly you do not regret, you're mostly satisfied, I think.
This was a great opportunity, and I'm just glad to be here, enjoying every single day, and I will be glad to receive, you when you come here and take you through what being part of Tartu and part of the university is like.
Well, as I said, always, when I studied, let's say, I did here all my bachelor and master, and so I kind of a long perspective. And I remember about maybe 15 years ago, we were really not so international at all. So maybe it was, I remember we had kind of one German professor and one German PhD student or something like that. So basically, very little. And now during the last 15 years or so, especially 10 years or so, it's been very rapid internationalization. which also kind of means that you probably, hopefully should have all kind of support systems, and you should also have kind of also international students that you could help to adopt you. Okay, Cedric came from Uganda. No, maybe there were not so many people from Uganda around, but still, some also international students that you could ask for help, how to cope with any practicalities, whereas these kind of best shops or where are the cheap shops where you could relax and go for party, how to do sports, or whatever, what could be all kinds of different practical things that you may need. And this sense, it should be definitely easier to adapt due to all this past internationalization.
Settling in shouldn't be the hardest thing to do in Tartu. It's really, I could say easy. It's really easy to settle in, and everyone in the institution is just there to help you.
Okay. But if there is no more questions, then let's finish here. And thanks for those being in. And I guess most will watch us online, and always please free to contact us. You know that university professors could be sometimes a bit busy, but let's say if they get email and don't answer, always feel free to send another email and push us. And but otherwise we try to be very fast as possible. So many thanks, and hope to see many of you to apply, and also hope to see many of you here in Tartu in the fall, in August and September. Okay, have a nice day.
All the best.